Leave us alone.
Yeah, stop spying on me.
Yeah. Get off my computer, get off my cameras, get off my Ring camera, you know. Take down all this stupid CCTV cameras everywhere that are watching everything. And because the next step to all of this, people don't realize this, and this is the facts, is China and what's going on there, and social credit scores, and your entire life monitored. Like, that's where we're going. Slowly, Jordan Peterson said, was doing an interview and talked about how does, I can't remember what the conversation was, but I heard him say this. How does corruption take form when it's so obvious? It's slow movements. It's like barely inching towards, total corruption and obedience, where you don't really see it coming. Next thing you know, like, oh, I have no other option but to get a chip in my hand, or
Totally.
Have a social credit score that allows me to, fly in a plane if I don't have a good going on there. And social credit scores, and your entire life monitored. Like, that's where we're going. Slowly, Jordan Peterson said, was doing an interview and talked about how does, I can't remember what the conversation was, but I heard him say this. How does corruption take form when it's so obvious? It's slow movements. It's like barely inching towards, total corruption and obedience, where you don't really see it coming. Next thing you know, like, oh, I have no other option but to get a chip in my hand, or...
Giving all praises, honors and glories unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Ukakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders and bishops, a great millstone that taught me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Quadash Paya. And as you just heard Aaron Rodgers having a meeting with this dude, Tucker Carlson, that even showed up to the camp long, years ago, to the apostles, the elders. And he knows what's up, man. He's a fucking double agent though. But nevertheless, just the words, the statements of the talks that came out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth about, the famous football player, speaking about basically a fashionism type of society, full control with the technology, which the scriptures refer to this place as what? The beast system. Whoever worships the beast, that dude already sold out. He has his consolation already. But nevertheless, it's being spoken about. You see? And he broke it down to where the TV, your Apple Watch, you know what I'm saying, your phones, everything is monitoring people's lives through the technology daily. Supermarkets, you got facial recognition, you got, like you said, a social credit system, which comes from that. Why do you think they building up all these data systems, right? These different towers, having wildfires, creating these smart cities, or a convenient type of, but that's the system that's gonna be, that's the what you call that, the look up sustainable development plans. Now I can look it up right now. I'm not gonna do all that though, but you can look it up, sustainable development plans, and they're gonna give you all the laws, and then you understand, do the steps, what they're trying to do. Esau, man, that's why the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. You can't trust. That's why you always gotta question, watch, and pray. Salaki, I don't know what.
Excuse me. People are afraid.
That's why you gotta watch and pray. What are we watching for? Then you have over here, check this out.
Bad enough that they're poisoning the food, and it's not bad enough that, it may give you explosive diarrhea, but now they're putting tracking microchips in the food. So this person posted that they, I guess, went to either Chipotle or Panda Express and found an RFID microchip in their rice. So if you read the post up here, they're saying it's a PSA I'm giving out to everyone at various fast food chains across the nation, such as Chipotle and Panda Express. People have been reporting that RFID microchips are found in the rice.
Now, some people saying it's for animals. Some people, no, it's coming from fast food. Listen, like the scriptures say, the brother put it up in the book of 1 Peter 5 and 8. Says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So we gotta remain vigilant, remain sober, because the adversary, the devil, right, referring to the word deceiver, right? Does not the scripture say in Job 9:24 that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked? See, because that's what's ultimately going to be the solution. Problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos. So that's going to be the ultimate solution, is a digital device inside everyone, and that's for control of everything. That's what's going to lead to what the scriptures speak about, the hour of temptation. If you get that, hey, read Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It tells you the repercussions for those that do take it. It's only going to get worse for you because you want benefits. You want business as usual. You want, you got kids. They got to eat. They need insurance. Man, fuck you and your kids if you take this. And right here, you're seeing the wickedness. People are waking up. Like, it's being exposed, what it is. The craftiness of Esau, Edom. Their craftiness. And I even had a dream about this years back. I was in a train. Like one of those long cargo trains that go from state to state. And but it was like a prison train. And there was different rooms that we had these fucking long gray uniforms. And they were putting people in rooms. Open this door, open that door, testing you. You come out, all right, now the test is going to be different. But one of the last tests that, I got was after I, saw what was going on with these other tests in these rooms. Like, oh shit, that's just the adversary trying to catch you. But it was a chip inside of silicone. And he was like, you could just swallow it. Don't worry about it. It won't dissolve. You'll be fine. And in a dream, like, I disrespected him. Like, I think I spit or something. Like, I just, like, fuck that. Like, I'm not consuming that shit. And then, I guess, it was me and my sister from my mother's side. She's not really, but anyway, we was both tied up. They tied us up. Boom. And we was laying on the ground, and the train was going up a hill, and it just so happened that the door opened and, like, it was loose or whatever, and it kind of opened. And I was like, oh shit, like, we rolled out. Like, literally, like, yo, let's roll out. We rolled on the grass and the train kept going. But nevertheless, that was what reminded me of that dream that I had due to this being consumed in somebody's stomach. But see, that's why the scriptures tell you, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive this. Right now is not mandatory. Right now is not. Things are now just being exposed to who the devil really is. You see? Like the brother said in the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 10, it says, and said, O full of all subtlety and all mischief, thou child of the devil, thou enemy of all righteousness, wilt thou not cease to pervert the right ways of the Lord? And then you could go to Acts the 10th chapter. How they trying to take the rights from the poor, from the needy, even them that speak upright against this place. Because when we declare these words against this kingdom, What is it doing? Well, Scripture says pulling down strongholds, meaning their imagination, the things that they want to accomplish. It's exposing it. You know? They're not going to fully accomplish it. It tells you that in the book of Job, the 20th chapter, around about the 23rd verse. You know? And right when they think they got it, they're implementing their New World Order, and majority of people, why do you think they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones? It says some things on it. You know? So that's why we can't. That's why the scripture said what? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, and the NLT goes into what? We're not ignorant of his evil schemes. You got this dude, Aaron Rodgers, speaking
So it's not
about this.
People are afraid
Right.
for NFL quarterback.
You're gonna have a lot of celebrities come out. Who knows? This dude might start getting. They might start assassinating his character, but you're gonna have a lot of so-called famous Israelites of this world. Israel, what I mean by that is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites. You're gonna have athletes, musicians, actors. You know what I'm saying? You name it. Whoever's infamous or famous in this society, they're gonna endorse that. Take it. It's convenient. It's this. It's that. It'll help you. It'll help your children. It'll help you see again. It'll help you walk again. Scriptures speak about false miracles. You know, because Esau, these elites, so-called white people, which they're the biblical, known as the biblical Edomites, they want to be like the Most High. You see? Tells you that in the book of Isaiah, I believe the 14th chapter. How they doing that? Through their technology, through their armies, through their weapons, through their tracking, through their, you see? And when there was an attack on the American soil, which we know was an inside job, Lord willing, I don't get a flag for whatever, but at this point, I don't give a shit. It was what they did. They passed a law called something called the Patriot Act. So now, if there's another 911, if you will, imagine the Patriot Act this time, 2.0. Anyway, yeah. So, you know, this is something that's one of the major prophecies to really keep a scope on, because a lot of people, a lot of groups, members that believe that there are Israelites, which there's nothing wrong with believing you're an Israelite, but they're not prophesying against the major prophecies. World War III, the hour of temptation, Yahweh Shai coming back, right, with the holy angels to destroy shit and to bring salvation. You know, Jacob's trouble, if I ain't mention that. Troubled times for you fucking you Negroes and you Spics, you know, that don't want to get right. You see, that majority is going to end up taking that. Why? Because they trust not the Holy One of Israel. You know? So, anyway, yeah, I mean, look, we're halfway through 2027. 2027 is only, we'll be in April. April, what am I talking about? July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months, 5 months. We're ready in August, another week, you know what I mean? So, time's speeding up, you know, and, yeah, you have athletes and podcasts talking about it now. So, who's wrong here? When this was spoken of in the scriptures, what, 2,000 years ago? Come on, stop playing with the Lord. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.